What's up, guys? Today is August 5th, 2025, I think. And what I wanted to talk about today was that comfort is where nothing happens. And subsequently, discomfort is where real change and growth happens. Pretty simple, pretty self explanatory. I think everybody knows this, but let's say this summer I'm working an internship, my first computer science internship, and I had to pick up a lot of things very quickly, and I was forced to go into work and forced to do a good job, more or less. Like I know you can just not go into work in theory and do a bad job, but that's not who I am. So here I really wanted to do a good job because that's who I am, and I didn't want to let anybody down, and that's a big part of who I think I am. So right in this position, I was given a lot to do, a lot to pick up, a lot to learn, and ooh, initially, even now it's still difficult. But initially, I came in and I got thrown a lot of stuff my way. It was it was all so hard, and the people there just felt like they were miles and miles smarter than me, and it still feels like that. And the intelligence gap, the experience gap, everything. I just felt like I was somewhere where I didn't need to be, or somewhere out of place, right? I felt very uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just worried about doing a good job, about making sure that I'm not letting anybody down, that I'm living up to expectations, that I'm not being a disappointment, I guess, in this workplace. And it was stressful, uncomfortable, pushed me very far out of my comfort zone, further than I would normally push myself. I kind of jumped into this more or less, like jumped off a cliff. Like, you take this job and now there's really no going back. There's no, I don't want to come in today. There's no, or I just want to stop working today. I took this leap, and ooh, it was very uncomfortable a lot of the time. Had to change a lot, had to grow a lot to become more comfortable in this position. And yeah, there because of this discomfort, I don't know, things were just difficult. I just felt uncomfortable, very uncomfortable a lot of the times, and I feel like I had to work harder, a lot harder than I have had to in the past when it was just me pushing myself. And yeah, I felt what difficult work is, in a sense. And I wouldn't have pushed myself this hard, this far, if I didn't have any of that external pressure on me of, I guess, like having a boss, having a manager. When you're working for yourself, and I've worked for myself before, and obviously that's kind of what school is to an extent. Maybe you work for your parents as well, like I do, but there's times where I've had my own ventures and I've worked for myself, and I can tell that focus is not the same. I'm out of my comfort zone there, but it's only you have to let down. It's only yourself that you have to let down in these situations. And it's not a good thing, but I feel it's easier to let yourself down than other people, at least in my current state. And realizing this, I see that is a big problem. You want to keep your own word to yourself. You don't want to let yourself down, and you want to hold your own word to yourself as important as your own word to anybody else, for that matter. But that external pressure, that leap you take into discomfort, will push you and progress you way further and faster than anything you can do within your comfort zone. I've, like I said, done projects, done ventures somewhat more within my comfort zone. I've not learned or developed as quickly or as much from these. If you would call school a venture, yes, I've had to work hard in school. At some points maybe like this, but not this long for this hard. Not what it feels like 10 hours a day, every day. That's a lot. If I could really stay focused 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, every day during the school year, I'd be done with all my homework immediately. Wouldn't have to study for tests. Like, everything would be pretty easy, but it's harder to push yourself in these situations. So I guess I saw that taking that leap and going past that point of no return and forcing yourself into an uncomfortable position is really good for you. It doesn't feel great in the moment at times, but looking back, I'm like, this was good. This was really good for me. And I'm very grateful for this internship opportunity. I learned a lot. I'm still doing it right now, but very, very grateful to have developed all and learned so much in a short amount of time. So I don't want to make it sound all bad. It was just hard. But yeah, you have to put yourself in discomfort, and maybe you can't have a tether back into comfort, because at some point, if I had that, maybe I would have folded. I would have went back and went back into my comfort zone. Not great, but I think it's human nature. And I know I'm going to be posed with these decisions again to force myself into discomfort zones. I may have an opportunity even right now that I have to consider. And I know that I can just not do it because it's for myself. But that's not a good way to look at it, because I'm not letting anyone else down other than myself. I can just not do it. That's not a good mental model. I should do it, and it should be even more important to me that I do it, because it is for myself and not for other people. So I see a big problem in this, and the issue is that I don't value my word to myself. So somehow I have to figure this out. But yeah, moral of the story: keep your word to yourself. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't do it slowly. Yeah, if it's like if you could compare it to going into a body of cold water, don't slowly walk in, because you're not gonna go in all the way. You're gonna get your feet in, and then like your knees, and you're gonna say, oh, it's too cold. Like I'm going back. If you just jump in, you know, whether you like it or not, you're immersed fully in that discomfort. So jump in towards it if you can. I need to do this. So yeah, that's all for today. I don't know. Maybe I'm running out of things to talk about. Maybe I'll think of something better. Maybe I need to read more about some ideas. share my findings this way. I think that could be good too. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.